Hey friends, welcome back to another Prepper Pantry haul. Today I am going to go to the Dollar Tree. I'm going to see what items are new in stock. It is the month of December. I'm always excited to go and kind of see what new items I can find. I'm all about having a prepared pantry and also not breaking the bank to go ahead and stock up on certain items. So that's why I like going to the Dollar Tree. I do shop for items in other stores as well, but the Dollar Tree is great because you are usually able to find some really great items for $1.25, especially if you stay away from their plus section of like $3, $4, $5 items. I don't go to the Dollar Tree for those items. I go to the Dollar Tree for items that are $1. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Barbara. I do live in West Texas and I'm all about living frugally and trying to build a self-reliant homestead. So enough talking, I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm going to jet to the dollar store and see what we find. So here I have some Himalayan pink salt nasal inhalers. These are great to have, especially during the winter, because they help with relief if you're having any issues with your respiratory system, with your sinuses. If you have a stuffy nose, it's full of essential oils, and they actually really do work great. Then I found this hydrogen peroxide spray. So it's the same ingredients that you would find in the normal peroxide bottles, but it's just going to be in a spray form. There's also a different brand as well that I did find. It's also a 3% solution, and there's really no other differences here. They're just marketed differently, but it may be good to have on hand to have some peroxide that is in a spray bottle versus just in a regular bottle that you're looking to be careful as you pour some of the contents out. And I was actually really excited to find these safety glasses here. I had to go to our local hardware store about a couple months ago to get some safety goggles. We were working on some projects around the house, and safety goggles here in our small town were actually over $10 to $15. And I thought that was very expensive. So finding some here for $1.25, I think that's great. If you do any woodworking or if you're doing any other light work around the yard, these might be good to have on hand. Next, I found some utility knives. Now, mind you, these are not going to be your top-notch, best quality, but they are good to have on hand if you want to maybe just have them to open up boxes or just different things of that sort. I did find individual packages and then also a 3-pack variety. So we did pick up some of those to go ahead and add because they usually do come in handy. So it's the first time I found cans of sardines in this large of size at our dollar store. These are 15 ounces. Typically cans of sardines that we buy are under 4 ounces. It's like 3.75 ounces. So 15 ounces is a really good size. This is in its own brine. It has a pop top, so that's really convenient. It's easy to open. They did have some others in like tomato sauce. I prefer the kind that's just in its own brine. If you're not familiar, brine is a solution of water and salt, so there's no other additives in the can. Moving on to the frozen foods section, I do like to stick again to the $1.25 area, and I did find the stir fry blend. It's not always in stock. It's 12 ounces of vegetables. It's really good. You can use it in a lot of recipes, and they're just great to grab a few bags worth and throw them into the freezer. Then I was really surprised to find these large bags of mango chunks in the freezer section. It's 20 ounces of chopped mangoes. These are great to have because you can add them into smoothies. You can throw them into your oatmeal. You can get really creative. It's a great way to still have fruit, especially in the winter seasons. And before leaving the frozen food section, I did find these frozen steak cut potato fries. So if you and your family enjoy having these on hand, this is a great place to buy some and stock up. I don't know about you and your dollar stores, but for me, I have a hard time finding the gallon-size bottles of water for $1.25 still. It's even more expensive at my local Walmart. So whenever I do find Crystal Geyser in these gallon sizes at our dollar store, for example, I get really excited and it is time to grab some more. I did come across these dried dates and I got really excited because I love having dates. They are so sweet. You don't even need to have candy if you have dates on hand. You only need a couple to really curb your sweet tooth. They're great to add in smoothies as well, or you could chop them up and add them into oatmeal. Now, if your family does consume a lot of milk, it's good to consider having different forms that are shelf stable. So you want to consider powdered milk to have in your pantry. Also, just some shelf stable boxed milk is also really good. Here at the dollar store, I did find whole milk and other different varieties as well. This one lasts until June 2024, and it probably lasts much beyond that, but that is the date on the box. There was 1% low-fat milk. I also found 2% milk. So you really can pick what you want to have in your pantry. And if you don't drink too much of regular milk, you can always opt for just looking at the almond milk varieties that they have. These are shelf stable as well. Now, we don't eat too much of regular box cereal, but if you and your family do, I would suggest taking a look at the varieties that they have here, especially the off-brand ones. You can get a very large size box of cereal and it's only $1.25. It's funny because if you look right next to these no-name brands, you're also going to find the brand name cereals, and it's a very small quantity for the same price. So there's definitely no comparison. I would opt for the larger boxes. I also found these really large cans of black beans. It's 29 ounces. This is a really large can. I usually like to get just regular whole beans and cook them myself from the small bags. But if you also want to just have a variety of different foods in your pantry, you want to consider having cans of beans as well, because these are ready to eat. You just have to open them up and you're good to go. The regular beans here in this bag, you will get a lot more volume, a lot more bang for your buck, but it does involve preparation. And I'm glad I checked the pasta section because they had larger quantities as well. They had 20-ounce boxes of pasta for the $1.25 price. So that's a really good price point. I think it's worth picking up some extra boxes because they virtually do not expire. Even the spaghetti noodles were a larger size as well. So go ahead and check your pasta section because you may be surprised what you find this month. And speaking of noodles, if you're really trying to stretch the dollar, I highly recommend looking at the ramen noodles that you find here. They're not always in stock, but when you do find them, they're usually going to be 5 packs in one larger package, and for $1.25 that does give you a lot of meals. They're not the healthiest thing, but hey, I grew up on ramen noodles as well, and sometimes it's really what can get you by. So definitely take a look, see if you find these there, and then also add them to your pantry because you never know if it'll come in handy in a rainy day. I always take a stroll through the container section. If you need any containers for anything in your household, including your pantry, always check the dollar store. You can get all sizes, all shapes. You can get them at a very affordable price. And you also don't have to feel too bad once they're not really in good condition anymore. You could just toss it and get some more. I also do invest in some more high quality Pyrex containers, but if I do want some plastic containers, the Dollar Tree or any other dollar store is going to be the first place that I check. Here's the first time I've seen these here. They're patty paper squares. I don't know if these are wax paper or parchment paper, but they would come in handy if you are cooking up a whole bunch of meats or different kinds of items and you're looking to freeze them. It's good to have on hand. They're already cut into these pre-designated squares, so it does make things go a little bit more smoothly. I didn't get any of these, but I did think they were neat, and I'm sure a lot of people would find it useful. I also did come across these stainless steel mugs, which are good to have on hand. If you don't have extra at home, you can get some to throw in a bug out bag or in a vehicle. They're good to keep hot foods hot, like teas or soups, or to even cook ready to eat meals that just need hot water. You can pour the contents in and add the hot water and you're good to go. So if you found any other cool finds this month at the Dollar Tree or any other dollar store, let me know down below. I'd love to hear. Take care and I'll catch you next time.